Thanks, Journey. All right. So this is going to be I feel a really key piece for today. And I mean, every piece is so special, absolutely. There's a place for everything and a reason for it. But are so many of you, you're excited to just get going on this? Like, is anybody really, really excited? Maybe you were just sort of doing this or doing this like I did for so long. Maybe you're just ready to start coming in. Anybody? Maybe made a little bit of a shift. All right? So, I've been coaching and training and mentoring for quite some time, and particularly over the past 3 years. Because the first year I was really just going through my transformation. I was out there just like passion on fire. It didn't matter. I didn't know what I was doing. I was just talking and sharing and helping and whatever, just throwing stuff out. And so I wasn't really doing a lot of training and mentoring per se. But I have been for the past 3 years, and I've been working, just an amazing team. And, whether it's with meetings or calls or one-on-ones or working with people from other teams. Again, it's all about linking arms. The one thing that I get all the time is that people go, I really, really want to do this, and I'm so excited about this, but oh my gosh, I'm so scared to talk to people. Like, I have this list, and I have my list. Anybody have a list and you haven't approached it yet? Or you're thinking about it? Okay? Right? And that's okay. It's very, very common. And, because I really, really recommend that everybody starts with a list. You gotta start somewhere if you really want to do this. Because I know so many people have, their office is beautiful. It's perfect. They have everything set out. Mine looks like a bomb hit it all the time. Okay? People have been down there. They've been in the shelter. They know what it looks like. They're all laughing, the ones that have been down there. And so they're preparing to prepare, right? So everything's, and they've learned the compensation plan, they know the numbers, they know this and that, and wow, they can show you where all the tools is, where everything, but you can't start sharing and mentoring and building your team if you don't have a team to start off with, right? You need people. You need to bring people. You have to start sharing. So for the next 40 minutes, we're going to be talking, I guess I'm probably down to 35 by now, connecting. This next piece is truly on connecting because it's the most important thing to get you going in your business, all right? Connecting and sharing. And I don't particularly, you may hear the word recruiting, but I much prefer the word sharing. Sharing is just so much less intimidating. Recruiting, I don't know, people run away, okay? So, the question being is, before we get going on this list, and we're going to be going through all of these, so this is just sort of what we're going to be hitting here over the next little bit. But one thing I really, really want to drive home, myself, I have enrolled about 225 people in the last 4 years. And I have about 6,000 on my team now. Right? So you're probably thinking, holy cow, that's a lot of people. That's a lot of conversations. And it is. And not everybody says yes. Look at how many times I said no. I have people on my team. Catherine never said yes right now. I've got Christine sitting over there. She said no for 2 years. Not everybody jumps in right away, and that's okay, right? This is just really about sharing and meeting people where they're at. It's about, Corinne said this, and I love this, listening. Listening to what people need, all right? That you guys, I can't stress that enough. It's not about vomiting, which I've done, okay? Because you're so excited, right? But it's really about listening to what people want, what they need, and then just really helping them with that. That's simply, if you just keep it simple. Another thing, big word of advice. Yes, we love the freedom and the financial freedom, and I shared, what that's done for our life and what we've been able to do for others. But and my husband, it's funny, he's very quiet, he's an engineer, he's very analytical, but he gave me such a great word of advice when I first started. He said, Lisa, you are heart and passion. He said, if you lead with your heart all the time, and always keep in mind, don't be chasing dollars. Don't ever start chasing dollars. All right? Even though that really helps in so many ways. But lead with your heart always. And guess what? The money will naturally follow. All right? So keep that in mind, you guys, at all times. Because when you're going in with a motive, nobody wants to be sold, right? I don't want to be sold. Nobody wants to be sold. But if you really go in with the right frame of mind in your heart, you will see your list. You're going to start crossing people off those lists, and your team is going to start growing a lot more quickly. All right? So I just really, really wanted to drive that home because it's so, so important. So, who do you know? And the best part, who are you going to meet? Because a lot of you are sitting there going, and I hear this, I don't know many people. I'm new to town. You know what? I just know a couple people. I haven't been here very long. Oh my gosh, I don't even know who to put on my list. Anybody experiencing that or thinking that? Okay? Know somebody you've been talking to like that? All right? So what's really fun about this is that we're out and about. There's so many different opportunities to meet people everywhere. So you may not know anybody, but wow, how exciting about all the people that you're going to actually meet. All right? So first of all, we're going to talk about the people on your list, because that's usually where people start. It's people that they know. So I'm going to be going back to some of the tools as well, because this does require learning, okay? I didn't learn what I know overnight. I put in a lot of time. I studied. And when we're talking about, 10 hours a week, if you have to dedicate 15, 20, make some of that. You have to do some studying. So I gave up TV, and I love TV. I was buying the people. I knew all the actors. I knew all the shows. I knew everything on there. And I wasted a lot of time watching TV. So all of a sudden I'm like, okay, I got 4 kids at home. I got to try and fit this in. No more TV. I started going to the tools, and I just started doing a little bit of education every night. Because really, you don't want to be contacting people after 9 p.m. unless they give you permission to. All right? So let's say I was up till 11 anyway, watching TV. So I kind of use this as my TV time. Going into, again, either icemovie.com or icejenningsbusiness.com, download the 90-day game plan book, because we're going to be referring to that. Angela's going to be, we're going to be going over some of that a little bit later. And there is a great list, a list of where you can get all kinds of ideas on who to put on your list. All right, has everybody done that? Okay. It's funny, I like to put my list in the notes section on my phone, because as I'm driving, I'm like, oh yeah, that person. So I don't, I'm famous for having papers everywhere. So do what works best for you. But you will get some great ideas from that book, and you can download that version. You can either buy a hard copy from the sales tools table, or you can go into icejenningsbusiness.com and download it and just print it off. All right? So we're ready to get started with that one? So now it's really about different approaches with your people on your list. Some people, they'll be your best friend. It's going to be an easy call for some of you. Some of you, it just blows me away. You can call them up. If you can call somebody and go, hey, you want to go for a drink Friday night? Are you good with that? Yeah, let's meet up. You have no problem doing that. But then you're looking at your best friend on the list, and you can't pick up the phone to share this exciting gift and maybe what you have to share with them, right? So it just blows me away. And this is where coming to events and listening and increasing your belief will make you have an easier time making those connections and calls. Do you not agree? Okay? Because if you have a fear within inside you and your belief does not appear, right? I love what David Wood said, and we went to one of these events in Edmonton, a whole bunch of us, and he said, think about this. He goes, and he just proposed to his fiancée, Jen. And he said, if I had said, Jen, I love you so much, and there's a 90% chance that I want to marry you. 90%, I'm there, right? What do you think she would have said? Like, and I always remember that. We all burst out laughing because it's so true. If you're hesitant and you're not feeling confident in sharing something, people will pick up on that. And that's usually where the fear comes in. Or if your belief in network marketing is at a 5, you might want to go do some work on that, right? Go on to networkmarketingpro.com or, what David would, amplifiednetworkmarketing.com. You have to increase your time, your belief in these areas, all right? So these are key things. And this will give you the confidence to go and start talking to the people on your list. Wow.
I feel so close to you right now. It's the force field. I wear my heart.
How you guys doing? Awesome? Man, that was a fantastic ride.
I know, hey? I took a long way.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, got on my mountain bike and cut through Bright Creek and over
nice.
Yamnuska and met there was a storm.
Oh my God, how did you do that?
I got a mountain bike.
Oh my
How did you
God.
get here?
I got here on my road bike. I was behind a bus the whole time. It was pretty good.
And that was quite a storm.
Oh, that's amazing. But
I don't think I might have missed my hair.
that's crazy. Your hair's a bit bad. Yeah. Bit of a problem there.
But I'm glad we made it to the National Cycling Convention.
I am so excited to talk to all you cyclists. So who here's a road cyclist?
Alright, who's your mountain biker? Alright.
That's kind of weird. Not many cyclists.
No.
Isn't this the National Cycling Association?
Uh-oh.
Oh, shit.
We did it
We did it
again.
again.
We're at the wrong place.
Oh my God, we've done it again. Oh my gosh. So,
Well then,
I guess
Catherine,
well, what do you want to talk about? I don't know.
let's see.
I guess isogenic cycling. You want to talk about that?
Isogenics.
That's pretty awesome.
They cycle as well.
Yeah.
Isogenic cycles.
Who here cycles with isogenics?
Right on, you guys. Who loves to cycle with Isogenics? But who would love to cycle with us?
Yeah, we rock. We do both. Recycle by recycle.
Yes, we
How
do.
cool is that, right? So today we're going to talk about the power of the cycle. If we could get our PowerPoint up. Anybody? No help for me. Thank you, Ron. There's us.
Oh,
Yeah, hey look, there I am.
Right
There you
on.
are. Yeah, cool.
it is us.
That is us.
All right, next.
All right, so the power of the cycle, right? Would everybody say that cycle with isogenics is pretty awesome, right? Yeah, I love it too. It came to me as a big surprise, but it's one of the many ways that we can earn with isogenics, and it's the one that gets a little bit addictive, wouldn't you say? Pretty addictive watching that, right? So this is kind of neat. It's a great way to see a visual of how you cycle with isogenics. So it just is by sharing, right? And it's based on volume, so points or volume. So Karina, you want to talk about?
Yeah, so the cycle, you guys, is what makes your residual income. That income that's coming in whether you're working or not. It's just every Monday you get the residual income. And it's based on BV, as you can see on the chart. And you'll hear a lot about BV. Well, what is BV? It's business volume. And business volume is BV, or a point system. So it's really points. And in the catalog, every single thing in the catalog has a BV. So you'll see price, BV. That is a point. Okay, point system. So it's all based on points.
Yeah, so if you think about it, if you take a look at, this is you, and just imagine if you shared with someone who went and bought 300 points worth of product. You have two teams, one on your left, one on your right, pretty simple. So the person on the left bought 300, the person on the right bought 300, and they also shared with someone who bought 300. When you add up 300 and 600, and it can go either side, you make what we call a cycle. What's a cycle worth? And has that ever changed? That's the one thing I also love about isogenics. The value of the cycle doesn't change. Other companies, does it change? Yeah, sure it can, right? So then another scenario is this. Like you might just say, well, geez, I don't know, 300, I don't know if my friends will buy that. So then you have some other scenarios. Let's say that all of those people bought the 30-day system. There you go. There is your 600 and your 300. You've got that 900 point value, and it equates to $54, right? You got the clicker? There you go.
Thank you.
Awesome. So, why should I get excited for just one cycle? Any ideas? Residual income totally rocks, right? Like I said, we can cycle while we cycle, right? It's really cool. So here's again a nice visual of a cycle. So 54 bucks, right? That's one cycle. And let's just say, yeah, so $54 a week. So let's just imagine you cycle once a week. That's how much you're going to make in a year. That rocks, hey? Like what could you buy for $28.08? And then it goes on and on. 10 cycles, 28,000. 20 cycles, and this is very doable, right? Wouldn't you say it's pretty doable? Yeah, it's totally doable.
You could probably even get a new bike helmet that doesn't have vent holes
Well, yeah, or
for the stormy riding days.
so you're going to keep that on, right?
Yeah, can you guys take me seriously right now?
Well,
I'm actually afraid to take it off.
I am too. You might trip though, and you could bang your head. You know, that could be dangerous.
I didn't even. All right, so moving on.
Sweetie. Oh my gosh.
It's only hair. Okay, so what does a cycle mean? We're just gonna quickly, I'm gonna go through these really quick, you guys. So one cycle a week, $54. An afternoon at the movies for $4. A magazine subscription, new shirt, new helmet, a manicure or a pedicure. 2 cycles, that's $108 a week. Dinner for 2, MP3 player, tickets to a game. Certainly not the Super Bowl game. Have you heard the prices of those tickets?
Away to Scotland for 6 months.
I will go with you.
I have another question. I'm going away to Scotland for a year, or
Yes.
6 months. Alone, yes. Private time on the moors for me. So what happens to my account if I don't order? Or do I lose my spot? Or do I have to go to the back of the line?
No, your spot is always your spot. You can become inactive by not holding that 100 business volume a month, which really is 2 boxes of shakes and some vitamins. It's not a lot. So.
And so when I come back from Scotland, do I
Your
get my
spot
spot?
is still there,
There we
and
go.
all of a sudden, if you have gone off of the 100 BV, the 100 points per month, because you traveled away for 6 months, I'm sure you could have friends and family using product. But if not, you never lose your spot. Your volume would just lose your volume, and then it comes right back as soon as you're active again.
But you can also get a one-time BV restoral. So if I go away for 6 months and I come back and I just call up the 1-800 and they give me all my points back. I don't know anybody else who does that, right? So pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So that's cycling, but we would like everybody just to stand up for 1 second and show the person beside you a bit of love, okay? Reach your arms out and give them a nice massage.
Give a hug.
Give them a nice massage.
And turn around, give it back to the side.
And then dance off. Oh, so good. Oh,
All right, nice work, you guys. Nice work. Thank you.
500 people, I was top 6. Pretty cool. So, Joe Martini's had this experience as well. Right, Joe?
Absolutely.
Lisa Walney. Angie Thompson, who's not here, has had the experience. Joanne Penn was with me the year I did it. So everything changes after you've done the Ice of Body Challenge, Ryan. Just to let you know.
Okay.
You know how you walk down the street now and nobody really knows who you are?
Yes.
Yeah. Say goodbye to that. Because you get to be a bit of a celebrity. All of a sudden you're a little bit famous, right, Joe? Lisa? People stop you all the time. Wow! Can I get your autograph? Can I get my picture with you? Can I feel your muscles? Can I see your abs? Can we take your shirt off? What do you eat? How did you do it? Are you still doing it? That's what's going to happen to you. So what I thought we might do, because we've all gone through this, is you might want to get a disguise. So I think you're going to have buy you some glasses. And here's an assortment of mustaches. You don't have to put these on now, but you might want to keep that in mind. Awesome. Now nobody's going to know. They're still going to recognize your muscles, and they're still going to come up and squeeze your biceps all the time. For me, it wasn't my biceps, but I got asked to show my abs all the time. You know what I mean. So you ready for that?
I think so.
Yeah? He has no
Getting
idea.
ready.
So Ryan's going to go to Celebration in August, and he's going to be on stage in front of about 15,000 people. Yeah. So at New Year's kickoff, it was 5,000 people, and what was that like?
It's hard to say in words just because it went so fast. and you didn't really have time to think about it, but when you look out, it's pretty spectacular because everybody's looking at you all at once.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible. Yeah. And then you're going to also end up in all the marketing material, just to let you know. So people are going to recognize you all over the place. So another thing I wanted to warn you about, so you can kind of prepare. You're a pretty smart guy.
I think so.
Went to school,
I did.
own your own business, successful chiropractor,
Yes.
well-versed, well-spoken. But did you know your vocabulary is going to change?
No.
Really? So you now when people ask you, hey Ryan, how are you doing? What do you say?
I'm doing well. Thanks, how are you?
Yeah? Okay. Well, now what's going to happen, it just happens all of a sudden after you get back from celebration or even at celebration. When someone says, how are you doing? You find yourself going, ISA amazing. ISA fantastic. So everything starts with ISA. You don't even realize you're doing it, but you're doing it. So maybe we should practice a bit. So let's try that again.
Okay.
How are you?
I'm doing ISO well.
Not bad. A little more enthusiasm though, because like you're so excited.
Okay.
How are you doing?
ISO amazing!
Wow! Yes! Woo! And your life is going to change in other ways. So normally you'd be like, what are your plans for the weekend? What would be something you'd do?
I'm gonna give this a try. So I'm gonna wake up and have my ISO breakfast with my isoline shakes, with my ISA kids and their isoline shakes. And then we're gonna go for an ISA bike ride, have some ISA lunch, and we're gonna play outside in the ISA backyard.
ISA awesome. That's exactly what's going to happen to you. So I just wanted you to be prepared for that. The whole world is going to change. And the other thing that's going to happen is you're going to walk around, not that you don't already, but you're going to walk around with a seriously permanent smile that never goes away. Okay? So get ready for that. And you're also going to wear a lot of green. Lots of green in your future. So all kidding aside, I just wanted to prepare you a little bit because it's going to be crazy for you at Celebration. And we can all say we knew him when. You can take that off now so we recognize him. So all kidding aside, Ryan, congratulations. I know what it's like, and you're going to have a fantastic time there. So do you want to tell us a little bit about what your journey was like, why you entered the Ice Body Challenge, and now you've finished. What was that like?
It's a bit of a roller coaster because when I started, I don't know if anybody's seen the video or heard it, I was at my rock bottom. And I was at a really low point when I started it, just because I had been through a lot and through adrenal fatigue and things like that. And this was my chance to have a fresh start and hold myself accountable. Just because if I didn't have that, you know what, if that workout was going to be too hard, I was going to wait till the next one, and wait till the next one. And you know what, because those workouts at the beginning, when you haven't worked out in a year, you know they're hard. The muscles hurt. As you get to the end of the workout, it's the hardest workout it's ever felt like. But you know, when you have this body challenge and you know, okay, this is the potential of what I can get from doing this, you keep pushing through. So I did, and every workout got easier and easier, and then what happened was I started to look better, and I started to feel better. And that was the most amazing part, because truly that's the whole goal of why we do it. All of the prizes and the money and everything, that's definitely a great point too. But for me, I really got myself back, and that's what it mostly meant for me. Then we got to the point where I was told I was a finalist. And there's really no words for that. When Mac Larson calls you and you have the whole executive team screaming in your ear and they start screaming about every list of prizes you get, you kind of sit there like, and they did it a half hour before I was going into a work shift, which didn't make me feel well. I was kind of buzzing the whole day. I thought, I can't even speak right now. And you know, your mouth gets dry because you're nervous, and I'm running through the gym that I work in screaming, I won, I won, I won. And everybody's looking at me like, what's he doing? He doesn't normally do that. But it's pretty amazing because the opportunity when you get there, because they fly you and a guest out, and you get there, they pick you up in the airport by a limo. A guy's holding a sign. It was just me. So they're holding a sign with my name on it. The limo driver, he takes all my stuff to limo. They drive me to the hotel. I'm riding in an Escalade with the CFO of Isogenics. We're just having a casual conversation. I get there. Every time I'm in the elevator in the hotel at an event, we're with an Isogenics millionaire. It was pretty unreal. And we're backstage of the event. We have VIP seating, everything. And they take us out for a spectacular dinner. Honestly, it's an epic opportunity. And for us, just not to take the chance or to not share with somebody else so they don't get that opportunity to one day be able to do this, I just don't feel good about that. I have to share it with everybody. I'm like, okay, if you're going to do this, you're doing the challenge. You're going to do the challenge. But why wouldn't you?
Yeah, exactly. So I